Hello everybody, it's Connor. We are back here with another One Leeds video. Great to be back on here. I know it's only been a day and I have posted just a little bit of a life update on Patreon. But, you know, I enjoy keeping this going. I'm not really an individual who makes excuses when it comes to work and doing stuff. I can't sit still sometimes, which is probably reflected in a lot of the content that I make. In terms of just the quantity that that gets sort of thrown out here, but just the setting, guys. Just quick one from me. I am moving flat, so there'll be no more Harry Potter cupboards. There'll be no more settings with the sofa in a small space. I am going to be moving somewhere with a little bit more space, which is going to be great. And yeah, really looking forward to that. So that has obviously come at a bit of a rubbish time when it comes to moving and what happened yesterday. Obviously, I didn't give you guys an update. A family member put an update on social media because I was about to do a video, basically, scheduled and everything. And then, I was involved in a car accident. I'm all right with a few bruises, definitely whiplash, and definitely a bit of headaches. But I'm all right. I'm fine. And you know, thank God I'm okay. Really, it could have been a lot worse. Sort of three-way collision and stuff. So wasn't nice. Definitely isn't something I'm going to forget. But it is what it is. You know, some people are involved in a lot worse and come out, you know, or don't come out the other side. And I'm just thankful that, you know, that's sort of not happened to me. So yeah, you've got to count your blessings, haven't you? But yeah, just keep safe out there, everyone, because it's a crazy world when it comes to UK drivers and just general drivers as well. It's nuts. But let's get on to Leeds United news. That's why you're here. Rotherham this weekend are going to be without key men Grant Hall and Daniel Ayala. Ayala, the 33-year-old. Obviously, we've known him since his Middlesbrough days. And listen, Ayala is, I believe he was playing in that first game as well when Leeds United drew with Rotherham. And he's a little bit of a leader, so that's a positive for Leeds. But altogether, they've really got about 4 or 5 men out, but those two are the main ones. The main danger, in my opinion, is Victor Johansson, the goalkeeper. You know, he's not an outfield player, he's a goalkeeper. He's doing really, really well at this moment in time. Probably second in terms of quality of keeper at this moment in time to Hermansen at Leicester. I think Johansson is definitely someone who is going to be on to bigger things, bigger and better things at some point, without any disrespect to Rotherham. But the beauty of what he's doing at the minute is he's seeing out his time at Rotherham. He wants to remain at Rotherham, and he's building up a little bit of a pedigree. You know, he's going to be facing a lot of shots during this season with Rotherham being so far adrift. But the beauty of that is his portfolio and his reputation is going to go up because of that. You know, the main tester of when you're a goalkeeper is when you're not facing many shots, but then your save percentage is really high and your decision making is also, you know, really, really quality as well. That's a good mark of a keeper, in my opinion. But yeah, Victor Johansson, the goalkeeper, might be a little bit difficult to get past. Hopefully it's not going to be a Kieran Westwood job at Carlisle all those years ago when Leeds just managed to find a way past him in the last minute against Carlisle over that 2-legged playoff leg campaign, I should say, fixture semi-final. But yeah, Victor Johansson could be a little bit of a problem when it comes to Leeds getting the ball past him. But it's all about accuracy, it's all about ruthlessness and being clinical, which Leeds were against Plymouth, even though we hit the woodwork 3 times. But yeah, another thing I wanted to talk about is Jack Harrison. And it was being revealed, and I don't know if you guys are updated on this, that if Leeds United do get back to the Premier League, Jack Harrison's 20 million quid loan sort of option to sign for Everton will be null and void, and he will stay with Leeds United. I don't really know how I feel about that. It is a little bit like Jack jumped ship, Leeds get back to the Prem, and then he comes back. If Everton can't afford the fee, which Leeds will probably, you know, be able to increase when he gets back, when we do get back to the Premier League. Listen, if we don't get back to the Premier League, he won't be coming back anyway. We all know that, but it feels a little bit, I feel uneasy with it that he's able to just come back when we do get to the Premier League. I don't like that whatsoever. If I'm Leeds United, like, there's a lot of people who say stuff like, oh, but it's Jack, so we'll welcome him back. Why? Inconsistent. We all have this sentiment towards Jack Harrison because he's part of the Bielsa campaign. He's a cluster player. He always was a cluster player. And he's proven a bit of a cluster player at Everton as well. I understand being part of a Premier League squad means that you're always going to be inconsistent because, you know, every sort of winger outside these top 4 wingers is going to be inconsistent because of the quality up there. But Jack was inconsistent in the Championship. This just isn't a Premier League thing. So I think what we've got now is a really good synergy partnerships across that front 4. I don't really think Jack would get in anywhere. Well, he wouldn't. I'd still have probably 4 of the players that we've got in front of Jack. So yeah, I don't know. I just don't. Hopefully that doesn't come to fruition anyway. It's not something we need to worry about now. But I didn't realise that that was the sort of like loan agreement. You know, if Leeds are in the Championship, Everton can almost go for 20-25 million. Don't really know how they're affording that, but you know, that's not why we're here to talk about Everton's finances. But overall, it looks like if we do get to the Premier League, Jack would be coming back, and that transfer will be null and void to Everton. So interesting. Let me know what you think about that in the comment section below. As well, everybody, download SofaScore. It is well worth it. You look at the analysis of every single player, every single manager. It's so worth it. The profiles are amazing, and it's something I use before every single video to get a little bit of an understanding via graphics and via just data spreadsheets on exactly who is the danger men for Rotherham. I've used that today. You also get updates as well. You know, Daniel Ayala, Grant Hall is exactly what I got off SofaScore, and it is the first when it comes to live score updates. So make sure you check that out. Chelsea up next for Leeds United in the Cup. Really excited for that one, actually. It's at Stamford Bridge, and I think Leeds have got some real artillery to hurt them. Somerville, Rutter, maybe the return of Patrick Bamford. You know, we've had a really good result against Chelsea in our recent history. Obviously, the 3-0 at Ellen Road, which was just a mauling. It was absolutely brilliant from Leeds United. Probably one of our standout performances, really, and definitely under Jesse Marsh. So, yeah, that's recent history. Obviously, we had a bit of a battle down at the Bridge as well, didn't we? The 3-2, the humdinger, where obviously Leeds lost the game. Under Marcelo Bielsa, but there's been a fair few good games, and then obviously I believe they beat us at Ellen Road, didn't they, in that season where we went down 3-0. So there's been a fair few. There's been a fair few with Chelsea, and it always includes goals. So I'm looking forward to that one. I think there's definitely ways we can exploit them. They've been a little bit on and off when it comes to form, but it feels like there are many Premier League teams like that at this moment in time. They are still packing a punch, even though Wolves stuck 4 past them, Liverpool stuck 4 past them. They go and batter Aston Villa last night, and that's a real performance they'll be wanting to build on. So, yeah, dangerous team, world-class players, and a world-class manager at that. So it's going to be a tough one for Leeds, but let's just go there and give it our all. We've definitely got personnel that can hurt them. The under-18s booked their next place in the Cup as well, beating Sheffield United on penalties last night. They now face Liverpool. Shout out to Rob Etherington's side. February 13th, I've got logged down here. Why has he got February 13th logged down on his pad and paper? Well, everybody, that is probably the first time I'm looking at Southampton's fixtures and saying maybe that is where they're going to run into a few problems. Bristol City away, followed by Millwall and a couple of others in there as well. We're sort of hoping at this moment in time Southampton are going to run into some difficult fixtures, because I do think among those 20 that they've been unbeaten, 22 I think it is now, to be fair, there's only been a few in there where I've thought, they're real tough ones. They've still got the likes of West Brom to play away, Leeds to play away, Leicester to play away. They've still got Hull City to play. And Ipswich as well away from home. So they've got a lot of tough games coming up, and we need to see that beginning so that they can sort of end the streak, and Leeds can keep catching, really, because obviously they've got 2 games on us as well. They've got Rotherham and Huddersfield, I believe, or they might have just had Rotherham, actually. I can't quite remember, but they have got Huddersfield coming up. Next on the agenda, I've got Gruev. And listen, Gabe was speaking about him very eloquently last night on the live stream, and I'm really happy with what I'm seeing with Gruev. Obviously, we're seeing a lot in comparison to Mark Rocker. I'm going to leave that to the side, but what I do like is his athleticism. I like his combativeness. I've mentioned that previously, and I don't think he can just be stuck in one position, guys. When you see him and his darting runs through the middle, which we're seeing a little bit more when he's getting a little bit more confidence, I'm really enjoying those quick runs through the middle that he gets. And he's actually quite quick over a short distance as well. What I'm also loving is the fact that he's able to turn on a sixpence. He's able to go left. He's able to go right with minimal effort. Very, very agile. And I think that comes with his sort of slight frame as well. But yeah, a massive fan of Elia Gruev. And I'm going to, pose this question. I've mentioned it previously. Could he be involved in a combination with another midfielder where there's 2 6s there, or maybe Gruev's an 8 and we've got another 6 in there as well. That's something to consider. There's a lot of conversation at the minute as well about Pascal coming in. Listen, guys, Pascal comes straight back in. He comes straight back in. Ethan comes in. Ethan doesn't Ethan, for me, doesn't go out the side, and Kamara drops, and maybe I think we've seen over the last month or whatever, when it's come to Gruev, how consistent, how good his performances have been. Um, he can also be quite dynamic through that middle, quite fluid through that middle. And I was a little bit worried about that at the start. I thought he was a little bit more of a double pivot player, but we've seen a lot more with Gruev that he can actually get forward as well. And I think there is potential now. Ampadu's played a little bit further forward in the midfield pairing as well in his career before. So I think there's a real potential there for Leeds to go with a double, which will be quite nice, and sort of one go forward, one stay. I think we've seen previously when they've played together that they're both very keen on sitting at points. But I think what we've seen in the last month is a little bit more license for Gruev to get forward, which I'm a massive fan of. We've also seen Gruev set pieces as well. I think that's brilliant. We saw him score from a set piece, technically had own goal, but still, he put it in the mixer. It was a lovely ball in. I think we've seen that with Gruev. We saw problems with set pieces for so long, but a nice left foot ball into the box, in swinger, out swinger is exactly what we need. So that's another real beneficiary of having him in there. But yeah, I'd be putting Pascal back in. There's a lot of chat at the minute, and I think it's really disrespectful to Pascal. If I'm being brutally honest with you guys, and you might disagree, but Pascal's been excellent for Leeds, and I don't understand really why he gets so underrated by a certain element of our fan base. Maybe it's because in the Premier League, under Durbrain managers, he wasn't able to really get his sort of level increased. I thought under Bielsa, his level dramatically improved throughout his time at the club, especially that first season in the Premier League where he was unbelievable. I think overall, Pascal Struijk has everything to his game. And before, let's be honest, I think before his injury, he was very, very good. I was sort of disappointed to see sort of Phil Hayes say that, Ampadu doesn't move out centre-back or whatever, and Kamara sort of stays there or whatever he says. I'm paraphrasing, but essentially keeping Pascal out. I don't really understand this media narrative of keeping him out. What's it all about? Why? What, because he had 2 successive losses on his streak, which was Preston and West Bromwich Albion? Would we have won those games with Ethan Ampadu at left centre-back? No, we wouldn't. No, it's not. It wouldn't have just dramatically changed. Ethan's done really, really well, but Ethan is a midfielder. And we know he's played centre-back before, but he literally, before he went centre-back, we were all talking about him being the best midfielder in the division. So just move him into midfield. I don't understand this. I really don't get it. I don't understand this sort of like argument that fans are having online. Keep Ethan in and keep Pascal out. Why? Because we're on a little bit of a streak now. We would have been on this streak with Pascal Struijk at centre-back with the fixtures that we've had. 100%. So I would like to keep Gruev in, put Ampadu in, and bring Pascal back. We are much more of a threat from set pieces as well. With Pascal in there, he's got 6 goals for us this season. I don't really know what we're talking about here. Joe Rodon as well at the back for me. A lot was funneled down on his side, which I thought was interesting. And Plymouth, it felt like we're pressing on him a little bit more the other night, and he was struggling to get the ball through that transitional play, which is what Pascal does really, really well. And I thought he fumbled a little bit the other night, Joe Rodon. I love Joe. I think he's brilliant. I don't know why I have to say this before, but it's almost like you have this weird agenda if you talk about Joe Rodon in any sort of negative light. He's been brilliant for Leeds, but I thought he was a little bit jittery the other night, and especially when he's put under pressure when it comes to playing the ball out from the back. Pascal does that exceptionally well. So yeah, I think there needs to be a little bit more respect on Pascal's name, to be honest with you. And more discussion as well is Gelhardt and Joseph right now. What on earth do we do with these boys? I thought they were excellent the other night. Physically, so much better. Gelhardt as well. He looks like a little bit of a different beast, slimmed down, looks like he's put on a little bit of muscle. And they just look so fit, both of them. Bombing between the transitions, didn't get tired. And I was really, really impressed with what I saw from both of them, to be quite honest with you. And it does pose the question, is Gelhardt in that 10 role a better option than Joel Pro at the minute? Gelhardt, very, very, very good the other night. I thought he was really good, just between those lines. And I think he offered more energy than Perot, and I just still don't get Perot in this system. Look, I understand the tally, the goals, all this sort of stuff, but I still don't get him in this system. I think Gelhardt fits that role a little bit better. And Joseph as well, is Matteo Joseph more of an option than Jaden Anthony off the bench? I thought he was a real, real threat and really impressed with him. And finally, everybody, Con Roberts, what do we do with him at the weekend? Stays on the bench for me. Archie Gray remains at right back, and he has to fight his way into the team. Guys, let me know what you think in the comment section below. We might be back with an additional video later on, a special one, so make sure you check that out. If we don't have this special video, we will be back with a live stream this evening, so make sure you look out for that one. Guys, thanks so much for your support. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in a bit. Cheers.